Chapter 1. Cry, child, for those without tears have a grief which never ends. Mexican saying. This memory begins with flight. A 1950s Bondo Spaco Dodge surged through a driving rain, veering around the potholes and upturned tracks of the abandoned red line trains on Alameda. Mama was in the front seat. My father was at the wheel. My brother Rano and I sat on one end of the back seat. My sisters Pata and Cuca on the other. There was a space between the boys and girls to keep us apart. "Ama, mira a Rano," a voice said for the 10th time from the back of the car. "He's hitting me again." We fought all the time. My brother especially had it in for La Pata. Thinking of Frankenstein, he called her Annastein. Her real name was Anna. But most of the time, we went by the animal names Dad gave us at birth. I am Grillo, which means cricket. Rano stands for Rana, the frog. La Pata is the duck. And Cuca is short for cucaracha, cockroach. The car seats came apart in strands. I looked out at the passing cars, which seemed like ghosts with headlights rushing past the streaks of water on the glass. I was 9 years old. As the rain fell, my mother cursed in Spanish, intermixed with pleas to saints and La Santísima Madre de Dios. She argued with my father. Dad didn't curse or raise his voice. He just stated the way things were. "I'll never go back to Mexico," he said. "I'd rather starve here. You want to stay with me? It has to be in Los Angeles. Otherwise, go." This incited my mother to greater fits. We were on the way to the Union train station in downtown L.A. We had our few belongings stuffed into the trunk and underneath our feet. I gently held on to one of the comic books Mama bought to keep us entertained. I had on my Sunday best clothes, with chewed gum stuck in a coat pocket. It could have been Easter, but it was a weeping November. I don't remember for sure why we were leaving. I just knew it was a special day. There was no fear or concern on my part. We were always moving. I looked at the newness of the comic book and felt some exhilaration of its feel in my hand. Mama had never bought us comic books before. It had to be a special day. For months, we had been pushed from one house to another, just Mama and us children. Mom and Dad had split up prior to this. We stayed at the homes of women my mom called comadres, with streams of children of their own. Some nights we slept in the car or in the living rooms of people we didn't know. There were no shelters for homeless families. My mother tried to get us settled somewhere, but all indications pointed to our going back to the land of her birth, to her red earth, her Mexico. The family consisted of my father Alfonso, my mom Maria Estela, my older brother Jose René, and my younger sisters Ana Virginia and Gloria Estela. I recall my father with his wavy hair and clean-shaven face, his correct, upright, and stubborn demeanor, in contrast to my mother who was heavy-set with native features and thick, straight hair, often laughing heartily, her eyes narrowed to slits, and sometimes crying from a deep, tomb-like place with a sound like swallowing mud. As we got closer to the Union Station, Los Angeles loomed low and large, a city of odd construction, a good place to get lost in. I, however, would learn to hide in imaginative worlds, in books, in TV shows where I picked up much of my English, in solitary play with mangled army men and crumpled toy trucks. I was so withdrawn, it must have looked scary.